Hello, welcome to my channel. I high-key, low-key hate this top. Ew. If you're new here, my name is Andoer Monopod. I post new videos every single Tuesday. Subscribe. So I'm in this grey kind of chill outfit because today we're going to be talking about self-care and what I do behind the scenes to make myself feel beautiful, well kept, well groomed. Basically how I keep my shit together. Ew. So for anyone who's new, I have quite a high maintenance self-care routine. It's borderline psychotic, but it keeps me sane. I think everybody deserves the right to feel beautiful, to feel confident, but I also felt like, hold on, this video is quite needed at the moment. Given everything that's going on, people being stuck at home, having mental health issues, feeling like they're going crazy, this is prime time at the moment to really look after yourself, to really develop some great habits that you can develop and take with you for life. Okay, so let's start off from the bottom and work our way up. I'm gonna tell you guys something now. I have the ugliest feet in the world, ever. If anyone's ever Googled Megan Fox's thumb and how weird it is, you will have the shock of your life when you see my feet. However, I know there's a market out there for them, and I'm not about to have a load of people make money out of pictures of my feet. So I'm probably gonna blur them out. But regardless of the fact that they are ugly AF, I recently discovered that looking after them actually makes you feel really good. So I think it was a few months ago, I was having a really bad day. Really bad. My head was all over the place. I felt really anxious. I couldn't calm down. And I had this strong internal desire to go downstairs, get one of those tubs, fill it up with water and dip my feet in it. I put a towel on the floor. I had some chill drum and bass playing in the background. Believe it or not, drum and bass really calms me down. And the moment that my feet were in the water, I felt like a weight lifted off me. And, you know, I got one of those, like, you know those pieces of rock that you scrape on the side of your foot to get, like, the bunions off? Or, like, the corns. I don't know what to call them. The dry skin. How can I say it without it being gross? Listen, guys, my feet are disgusting, okay? I just basically started scraping on the side of my foot and it felt really good, so I put some essential oils in there, you know, some ylang, feeling all spiritual and shit. And then afterwards I was like, you know what? Let's just go all out. I put the little toe separators in and decided for the first time in months to paint my toenails. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel pretty well kept. I mean, they really are on the bottom of my priority list, but if I actually have the time, and if you have the time, I would actually recommend looking after your feet. So that's part one. Moving on up. Comment down below if you have ever used one of those foot masks. I've seen people using them all over YouTube. So you put your feet in this foot mask, it does some kind of chemical reaction and you end up shedding like a whole layer of skin like a snake, and then you've just got like baby feet afterwards. I really wanted to try this, but I heard from a friend of a friend that they ended up in hospital after using one of these things. It kind of put me off. I'm a busy girl, right? Very busy. And I do not have time to be sent over to A&E because my foot is like shedding skin. I would be so pissed off. Anyway, okay, so my body is actually not that high maintenance. I have very oily skin and I hate the feeling of moisturiser on my skin. I think that most people actually do use body moisturisers, but I don't. What I do though... Ew. That was so cringe. Don't ever do that again. What I do though is exfoliate. In the winter, I will probably do this more. In the summer, I tend to not exfoliate too much because I just feel like I don't need to. But what I use to exfoliate is something called a Baiden Mitten. So get this. You know when you used to have a rubber in school and you'd rub it against a piece of paper and you'd get all of these like bibbly bits bobbly bits, rubber shavings. With the Baiden Mitten, you don't go in circular motions, you go up and down and press pretty firm. And what happens after a while is it literally scrubs the dead skin cells and you can see them coming off and feel them. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like stuff like that. I am a bit of a freak. I'm the same when it comes to like popping spots or plucking eyebrows. I like to mess with things. What I always do when I see that we're gonna have like a heat wave or something and I'm gonna be sunbathing, I'll always do like a full body exfoliation, especially around the feet. Be careful around the face. You want to be more gentle around this area and the neck. But when it comes to the body, I'm a bit more rough. If I do use a moisturiser, I will tend to lean towards natural aloe vera juice. So I have these bottles and it is 100% aloe vera. You slather it on, it doesn't make you feel greasy. It's probably not that moisturising, but it gives your body kind of like a sheen and a protective layer. But if anyone can recommend to me a body moisturiser that does not leave you feeling greasy and doesn't have a smell, comment that down below because I want to know. Okay, so we've been through the feet, we've been through the exfoliation. I probably don't need to say anything about my hair removal routine. At the moment, I still shave, but I'm really interested in the idea of waxing and laser hair removal. There is this product on the market at the moment. I think it's called Kenzo or something. Believe me, I do not have the money for that right now. But if they are watching, I would happily do a video and an experiment when it comes to laser hair removal because I'm very interested in the process. But yeah, I don't really want to set an example with shaving and using razors because I don't think it's the best. I'm also interested in sugaring, which is kind of like a more natural version of waxing. But yeah, we'll just skip over that part because I need to educate myself. Okay, so the next thing is all about the nails. If you guys know me at all, you'll know that I am obsessed with my nails. I highly recommend the polygel method, but this is only for girls that want to have really long nails. Otherwise, I would just recommend to grow them and put shellac on top just to protect them. But when I lost my job, I promised myself that I will never ever wash a dish ever again, and I have just been loving life ever since. My nails have just got longer and longer every single time that I do them, and I'm sold. For all the ladies out there, I honestly think that having pristine, well-kept nails will make you feel so good. I have a full video tutorial on how I used to do my shellac before I started doing polygel, but I have yet to do a video tutorial on my polygel application. I have, however, done a video talking about polygel and everything that I know about it, but I think it's pretty outdated now. I've learned so much more since. What I've always done is I've gone to a professional to get a treatment done once. I've observed and kind of studied what they've done, and then I just do it myself. I'm all about those economical choices, and with all the lockdowns that happen all the time now, I know a lot of people have been caught off guard and they're like, oh shit, I can't go to my nail salon, like what am I gonna do? I'm here to tell you, you can do it yourself. If I can do it, anyone can do it, because I was terrible. My first polygels were absolute trash. Okay, now it's time for the face. This is where I need most of the work, to be quite honest. I used to have really bad acne, and ever since I've just kind of convinced myself that I am so acne prone that I cannot waver on my routine. So every single week I will have a face mask, and the one that I use is a very special one. It is the infamous Indian clay healing mask. It's 100% clay. I can never pronounce it. I think it's bentonite. Benetite? I don't know. It's up on the screen. You've probably heard about it before. This stuff is absolutely next level, but it's very harsh. If you've got sensitive skin, be wary of this one. I believe that even though my skin is acne prone, it's not that sensitive and it can deal with a lot. So with this mask, you mix it with apple cider vinegar and you'll watch and it'll fizzle. I usually get a spoon, I whip it up, I get it to like a thick consistency, and then I put it on my face. I leave it on for about as long as possible, to be quite honest. They say not to leave it on longer than like 15 minutes. I usually have it on for at least half an hour. Sorry. But you'll know when to take it off because it will literally feel like it's pulsating. It's so tight on your skin and it goes all crumbly. Now, taking this thing off takes me quite a long time. It's a bit of a workout. You have to be gentle. I usually take a flannel and make sure that it's really hot, and you just gotta work it. Just work it. Carefully get those pieces off. Do not pull, because you could be really bad and you could like pull this thing off, but your face will be so red afterwards, and I swear it's not good for your skin. But regardless of how gentle you take it off, most people find that their face is quite red afterwards. It's normal. It says it on the bottle, so I trust that. Kind of. But afterwards, your skin just feels so soft. And then what I'll usually do is I will put vitamin E oil on my face, or jojoba oil. Jojoba oil has vitamin E in it, so I feel like I'm getting more bang for my buck. I'm always promoting the idea of having as natural a product as possible where possible. So instead of using some expensive moisturizer, I think it's actually a better idea to have a pure natural thing just slathered on your face. But you got to be careful. There's a lot of natural skincare on YouTube that I would not follow. So you need to do your research if you're doing one of these DIY kind of projects like I do. But I can safely say that vitamin E oil is perfectly fine for the skin, as far as I'm aware. Well, it works for my skin. Anyway, before I put the mask on, I will always exfoliate. Lately, I've been using a Clinique facial scrub, and it's actually the men's one. Tell me why men's products are so good. Why are you giving them the better products? They don't even care. Yeah, that facial scrub is... It's so nice. I've never had a scrub where I literally will put it on my nose and it literally scrubs away at the blackheads, and my nose is so smooth afterwards. Witchcraft. So I'll usually do the face mask on the day that I've got really greasy hair, and then the next day I'll plan to wash my hair. The reason why I do this is because the vitamin E oil makes my hair so greasy, because it just does. After you have that mask on, you really need to hydrate your skin. Like, your skin's dying for moisture. And then on the day that I wash my hair, I will always put this Clarins facial tanner on. This stuff never looks patchy. It doesn't give you a drastic kind of change, but in the morning when I wake up, I just look a little bit sun-kissed and just a bit more healthy. And I swear there's some really good ingredients in that stuff that just moisturizes your skin. Speaking of moisture, I'm looking a bit shiny. That's not really much better. Anyway, okay, this one's really important. Usually about twice a week, I will do my own brow tint. This step is so important to me. I mean, ever since mid-2000s, people have been obsessed with eyebrows. I don't think that's ever going to stop now. We've all realised now that brows make such a difference. The most important part of my makeup routine now is my brows, which is good news because we can all feel beautiful if we just get our brows tinted. Well, this is for people that need their brows tinted. I mean, my natural brows, guys, they're like a string. I have tried to grow them. I've tried castor oil. I've tried all sorts. They won't grow. They're just like, it's not happening. And what I use as well to do my brow tint is not actual brow tint. It's men's beard dye. I researched this all around YouTube. I watched some tutorials and I was like, again, why are the men's products better than the women's? Can someone explain? I can do a video on how I do my own brow tint. Just comment down below, like I say in every video. But it would be way too long to just include in this one, so sorry. I just want to say, treat your self-care routine like a ritual. Treat it like something that is enjoyable, something that you know is going to make you feel better. Don't approach it with the attitude that it's just another job to be done, because yeah, like, it is hard work. I'm not gonna lie. Don't care what anybody says. Self-care for women is the amount of hours that I spend. It should be illegal. May as well be, because everything else is. Anyway, ramble, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for making it to the end. If you like this video, make sure to drop it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Love you, bye.